Today is 881st day that I'm here to lessons to learn. I'm learning. I hope this will support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Today I speak about I can put you on a bike, but you will need to pedal. I could put you on a bike, but you will need to pedal. It's very, very powerful saying, and this is very similar to say like I could lead the horse to the water, but horse needs to decide to drink. That means that sometimes it depends on the person. Sometimes person wants to go by themselves and really figure out things by themselves. And I truly believe that every single person needs to find a mentor. But at the same time, when you have a mentor, when you have a guide, when you have a support, you're not supposed to expect that they will do everything for you. Because a lot of times people have a mentor and they have amazing mentor people, a person who have achieved massive results, massive success. And now because of that, people just by byproduct will think that they will really gain the same results as a mentor gain. Now, of course, it's very important to have a mentor who have results, have success. But at the same time, we need to understand that that mentor could bring us to success. But we need to take action. We need to really pedal. We need to drink that water. We need to drink that knowledge. And today I'll just really reflect on different ideas, different things that we really need to work on, take actions to really make sure that we're able to achieve success. Now, for example, if you have pursuing some other career advancement, it could be that the mentor could say, I could introduce you to influential people, but at the same time, you will need to network, you will need to build those relations, you will need to show yourself. That means that first introduction is important to build that trust. But at the end of the day, after that introduction is done, all is up to you now. You will need to show who you are as a person, integrity, and everything in between. Introduction is not everything, it's a big step forward, but of course we need to understand that we're not supposed to take it for granted because respect is earned. Trust, a lot of times the first level of trust could be followed by someone else. Someone could be borrowing trust for you, but respect will be earned. So that means if you really want advance in career, that means you're not supposed to say that, oh, this person is ready for me. That means that it's easy win. No, you need to really work, take very great actions to really network and build your own brand. Number two is education. That means that again, a person could say that I could provide all the materials to study, but you will need to put your effort into learning and understanding the content. And this is very, very powerful. Some people don't want to study, don't want that materials. And some people have the materials, have the tools, have the resources, and just choose not to learn, not to advance, not to improve. Again, this is very, very important. Because even there's a lot of coaches, mentors, amazing people, and they put out on internet amazing resources that people could learn, develop, improve. But so many people ignore that because sometimes even that what is free now it doesn't show any value. So I think that sometimes we need to really see like what is value for you, what kind of resource could really elevate your life, and base that information based on the value and transformation that you get. And then that's when we think about people who really put a lot of great resources, we need to really take that in and really work and improve ourselves. So number three is personal growth. That means that I can give you guidance, I can give you advice, but ultimately you will need to take action necessarily to change. Because it's very easy to ask for advice a lot of times. It's very easy. Just what you're supposed to do. Now, what happens afterwards is that you don't like the advice because that means that the advice will require you to challenge yourself, to get out of your comfort zone, to move yourself from and do things that you've never done before. And you don't take action. And that is a massive, massive, massive thing that we always need to understand that when you take advice, implement advice immediately. The speed, personal growth loves speed. Because if you started late advice, at some point you forget, and then you go back and ask another advice. And again, this is very important. A mentor could offer advice, but you will need to take action on that advice. And when you take advice and you implement it, you are able to get more and more advice. Otherwise, you keep the same advice that you got for once. Number four is relationships. Now, I can potentially introduce you to romantic relationships, but at the end of the day, you will need to invest time and energy into really building that meaningful connection. So that means that when you are introduced, you need to ask yourself, do you have time and energy to invest in building something meaningful? Because one thing is, again, introducing. Another thing is really building and being actively looking for really invest yourself, because relationships are an investment. It's a massive investment. Not like money. Most times it's more of the energy and time. And I'm willing to invest your time to really build that massive connection. Number 5 is health and fitness. I can give you the workout plan. I can give you the routine, what you're supposed to eat and how you're supposed to eat. But at the same time, you will need to really follow it. And there's so many fitness coaches who are amazing coaches, and they could really give amazing advice. But why so many people are still over it? Because they just don't follow easy steps that everyone knows what to do. But most of the thing, one of the biggest thing is accountability. People are not accountable for themselves. So a lot of times people need a coach that they could be accountable for. And I think that is very, very, very important, because health and fitness is one of the things that people are struggling at the moment, a lot of times. Number 6 is creativity. So that means that I can give you inspiration and ideas, but you will need to work and bring those ideas through. So that means that when you have a brainstorm session with somebody and you find there is a lot of different ideas how you can implement something, maybe in a business, maybe in the art, maybe in a career, that means the brainstorm is important. But at the same time, we understand that we will need, when we have that idea, work on that to make sure that we implement that idea and achieve something with that. Number 7 is entrepreneurship. I can provide you a startup capital and mentorship, but you will need to drive business and execute. Because I think that one of the things that a lot of people do not succeed in entrepreneurship, it is very, very important, is execution. I said that in the past, and I always say that I truly believe that 90% of business fail not because of business, but because business owner didn't know how to execute. Because when you really are willing to sacrifice some extra hours and really getting out of your comfort zone and making things happen and do the things that you never done before and execute at the highest level, I truly believe that any kind of business, most 90% of business could succeed. Just people are lacking execution skills. And I'm a massive believer in that, because people who are massively good at execution, they could take a wrong idea and they still get some success. Number 8 is problem solving. That means that I can give you advice on how to tackle a challenge, but you will need to use critical thinking and persistence to find a solution. That means that problem solving is one of the things that a lot of times you need to persist and have resilience, because the problems are things that sometimes you're not able to solve problem overnight. Some problems could be so small that you're able to solve the same day, and some problems are long-term problems. Like financial struggles will not be overcome the same day. That means you will need to work maybe potentially 6 months, maybe a year. So it means that some of this could really give you advice how to work it, but you will need to have the persistence to really follow it through and be resilient to make sure that you execute on that idea and on that solution and find that solution to really solve it. So next one is personal finance. So that means that I could give you advice how to budget, how to invest, but you will need to really take control of your finances and making sure that you understand everything, what's coming in, what's coming out, and really not being afraid to take risks and invest in yourself to really elevate your skill set to make more money. At the same time, invest into investments and not be afraid to do that. So it means that sometimes people know where to invest, but they never do that because they just never take a risk to really do something they never done because they're afraid to lose money. But I think that when you hoard the money the most, then you lose them the most. I think that everyone needs to understand that money is supposed to be flowing like a river, and when you start treating them money as a river, I think that's where the flow of money comes. And of course, what you want to do, you want to make sure that flow becomes a bigger and bigger and bigger, that becomes a massive, massive river rather than a reservoir, a small reservoir. Leadership. This is very important. I can provide training and leadership and mentorship, but you will need to demonstrate initiative that you are able to really be effective leader. Because sometimes we have a training of leadership, but we do not take initiative to really use those skills to lead. So it means you read a lot of books, you're taking seminars, a lot of conferences, you know exactly how potentially you're supposed to lead. But when there's opportunity to lead, we stand out. I think that's very, very important to understand that we're able to get mentorship and coaching, but we need to take initiative. But leaders don't sit in the back. They sit in the front. They show up. They ask questions. They move forward. They make mistakes. I think that's what's one of the biggest strengths of a leader, because they go forward. They make a lot of mistakes, and they're not afraid of making mistakes, because when they make a lot of mistakes, that allows them to know much more and then help other people to overcome the same mistakes. The last one that I want to mention is learning new skill. I can enroll you in a new course, but you will need to dedicate time and effort to practice and master the skill. Skill, I truly believe, is again one of the key areas of our lives that every single person needs to develop a skill set. Everyone needs to choose different skill sets, but what is your skill set that you develop? What is your skill that you want to develop in the highest expert level? Because people pay a lot of money for experts, and when I think about, do you know one skill set or two, maybe three? But let's start with one. What is the skill set that you have developed in expert level? And if you say that I'm average and everywhere, maybe that's the main focus now supposed to be for next year. Really find the one skill that you want to develop, that you want to be known for as a brand, and start developing that to make sure that you are able to make potentially more money and really live a fulfilling life. So I hope that you will reflect on the topic, because a lot of times we have the resources, we have the guidance, but we just don't use what we have. That's probably the biggest lesson of today, is that we need to start using what we have and what we grateful for, what we're supposed to be grateful for. And I think that when we start using what we have, we're able to achieve great results and get more and more and more. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.